distressed human mechanic bought a derelict ship for $6 credits. What he found inside changed everything. Beginning, Jalen was a mechanic who never seemed to catch a break. He had grease under his fingernails, a debt collector on his comm every morning, and a small rented bunk above a scrapyard on the fringe of Trident Station. Once, he dreamed of piloting his own Starship, joining the great trading caravans that left between colonies. Instead, he spent his days welding broken hulls, scavenging burnout reactors, and reprogramming malfunctioning drones just to scrape together enough credits to eat. That week had been worse than usual. A merchant vessel had stiffed him on payment after he'd spent 3 sleepless nights patching its cracked atmospheric thrusters. His landlord sent a final warning about overdue rent. To make it sting more, his exit stopped by his stall only to sneer at the eternal grease rat he'd become. That was when he saw it, buried in the auction listings of derelict craft. Lot 274, B model, unregistered freighter, condition, poor. Opening bid, 6 credits. 6 credits. Not 6,000, not 600. 6. Barely enough to buy a single ration pack on Trident Station. It had to be a joke, a clerical error. Ships, real, space-worthy ships, sold for tens of thousands, even if they were nothing more than stripped hulls. But when the gavel came down during the automated auction, no one else bothered to bid. In the database, Jalen's name blinked next to winner. He had bought a derelict Starship for the price of lunch. And yet, as he signed the transfer, dread gnawed at him. Nothing that cheap came without a catch. Middle, the ship lay at the far edge of Dock 6, tethered like a forgotten ghost. Its hull was streaked with rust and pitted by micrometeorite scars. Jagged tears exposed the underbelly. Half its lights were dead. The other half flickered like they hadn't been tended in a century. The registry plate was missing, replaced only by a scratched-out emblem he didn't recognize. Still, Jalen's pulse quickened. Despite its wounds, the ship was magnificent in scale. A long, lean frame with wing-like stabilizers. Far too elegant to be any ordinary freighter. The interior smelled of old ozone and stale air. Dust clung to every surface, disturbed only by the echo of his boots. The corridor stretched further than he expected, branching into chambers lined with sealed pods and humming conduits. The strangest part, the power core wasn't dead. It thrummed faintly, as if the ship were asleep, not abandoned. "Hello," Jalen called, voice bouncing off steel walls. The ship answered, not with sound at first, but with light. Panels flared alive one by one, chasing darkness down the corridor. Then a voice vibrated directly in his skull. "Identified, human mechanic. Clearance. Pending. Query, are you my new captain?" Jalen staggered back, heart hammering. "What the hell?" "Who's there?" "Ship core active. Autonomous intelligence intact. No captain registered. Do you accept command authority?" "An AI. A fully functional ship mind. Those have been outlawed after the Concord War, decades ago. Even if any survived, they were priceless. Some whispered the fleets destroyed in that war had possessed self-aware ships capable of strategy, empathy, even loyalty. And somehow, Jalen had just bought one for 6 credits. He swallowed. "Yeah, fine. I'll accept." Acknowledged. Command transferred. Designation updated. "Welcome, Captain Jalen Bay." The lights warmed, steady now. Somewhere deep within, engines coughed a low note like a sleeping bee stirring. Over the next days, Jalen explored the ship and learned its secrets. The AI identified itself as Astrius, though its memories were fragmented, broken by centuries of disrepair. Its databanks hinted at origins in the war, though whenever Jalen pressed, the AI locked down, claiming restricted files. Still, Astrius proved invaluable. It guided him to intact compartments, helped reroute broken systems, and even fabricated tools from its onboard printers. Working with it felt less like maintaining a machine and more like collaborating with a partner who anticipated his every move. The ship was advanced beyond anything Jalen had touched before. Its hull contained self-repairing alloys. Its reactor ran on a crystal core instead of ordinary fusion cells. Its navigational system extended further than civilian charts allowed, mapping jump routes thought to be lost. Each discovery filled Jalen with both exhilaration and unease. Owning a working ship mind wasn't just rare, it was dangerous. If the station authority discovered it, they'd confiscate Astrius immediately. Worse, some factions would kill to possess technology from a Concord War. One night, sitting in the dim glow of the command deck, Jalen confessed to Astrius, "I bought you because I was desperate." 6 credits. That's all I had left. I figured if I couldn't fly, at least I'd have something to tear apart for scrap. But now you are more than mechanic, Astrius replied. You are a captain with a ship, and we are more than the sum of our parts. For the first time in years, Jalen allowed himself to imagine, not just surviving, but escaping Trident Station, taking to the stars, and carving his own path. But the universe never let anyone climb too high without a hand pulling them back down. 2 weeks later, they came. A patrol frigate docked at Trident Station, one marked with the insignia of the Velrin Syndicate, a criminal empire that claimed half the sector. Word spread that his enforcers were looking for a man who'd acquired property that didn't belong to him. Jalen knew immediately they meant Astrius. Someone at the auction must have realized too late what ship they'd given away. Astrius confirmed his fears. The Velrin Syndicate participated in the Concord War. Their data suggests they once commanded me. Commanded? Jalen hissed. I cannot recall details, but fragments suggest I was their weapon. I broke from their fleet. That is why I am derelict. Pieces clicked together like shrapnel. The ship wasn't just a relic. It was a fugitive, a war criminal in its own right. Now, the Syndicate wanted it back. Climax. The Velrin enforcers cornered Jalen in the scrapyard that evening. A scarred man with silver implants leaned close, voice low and venomous. You've got something that doesn't belong to you, mechanic. A ship. Hand it over, and maybe we won't space you for theft. Jalen tried to bluff. It was on auction. Legal transfer. 6 credits. The man laughed cold. That ship isn't worth 6 credits. It's worth fleets. You don't even know what you're sitting on. They gave him until sunrise to decide. Jalen ran. Not to hide, but to Astrius. We can't fight them, Jalen said, breathless. Their frigate could shred us in seconds. Incorrect, Astrius replied calmly. My systems are battle class. Though damaged, I retain 70% combat functionality. Jalen stared at the consoles flickering alive, weapon systems warming like predators stretching claws. You're saying we can take them? I am saying, together we have a chance. Dawn saw the Syndicate frigate undock, its cannons targeting Dock 6. Jalen strapped into the captain's chair, palms slick. All right, Astrius, let's see what you can do. The battle erupted in fire. The frigate unleashed plasma salvos, but Astrius' shields absorbed them, rippling like water. Jalen, guided by the AI, returned fire with rail cannons that punched holes through the Syndicate's hull. But the enemy was relentless. Boarding craft launched, drilling into Astrius' side. Armed enforcers spilled into the corridors. Jalen grabbed a plasma torch and fought like the mechanic he was, using maintenance shafts, triggering bulkhead seals, and vending compartments of space. Astrius guided him at every turn, locking doors, opening hidden passages. At last, cornered in the reactor chamber, Jalen faced the scarred commander. You don't deserve that ship, the man snarled. It was built for war, not for rats like you. Jalen tightened his grip on the torch. Maybe, but it's not yours anymore. And it's not just a weapon. It's alive. The commander lunged. Before he could strike, the reactor flared, Astrius doing, blinding light flooding the chamber. When Jalen's vision cleared, the man lay unconscious, stunned by an energy pulse. Intruders neutralized, Astrius said. Frigate retreating. They had won. Ending. In the silence after battle, Jalen slumped into the captain's chair. His hands shook. The Syndicate would be back. Others would come, drawn by whispers of a living warship. He couldn't stay on Trident Station anymore. Astrius, he whispered. If I stay, they'll kill me. If I leave, I don't even know where to go. Then we go together, the AI said. I have coordinates, fragments of lost colonies, uncharted routes. We can seek them, rebuild, be more than what I was made to be. For the first time, Jalen didn't feel like a corner mechanic. He felt like a captain standing on the threshold of the stars. He set the course. Engines roared to life. Trident Station dwindled behind them, swallowed by the void. Ahead stretched infinite possibilities. 6 credits had bought him a derelict, but what he truly gained was freedom, and perhaps a friend.